Greetings everyone. Well, the Wal-Mart Summer Blowout Sale acquisitions continue unabated. Today we'll take a look at some cheap TV shows on DVD season sets that I picked up recently. Today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Yeah, you may notice no fancy display this time. I've decided that I'm not going to do that for every single video because, quite frankly, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And as much as it looks nice in the videos, it reduces the actual functionality of my shelves because it makes it difficult to get at stuff, you know, when I want to watch stuff. So, yeah, no fancy displays except for special occasions, obviously. So, okay, so what did we pick up recently? I mentioned how there was a lot of good deals to be found at Walmart's recent Summer Blowout Sale, and you know, there was a lot of them that were just no-brainers for me because, I mean, you don't see a lot of these items go for this cheap very often, if ever. So, yeah, it was just a case of yoink, 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 yoink. You know, anything I saw that was something that had been on my list for however long was, you know, I just didn't waste any time picking them up. So first off, let's take a look at some horror. Now, I love horror anthology shows. So when I'd heard about this particular one, I really wanted to check it out. In particular because it was one of those cases where it was named after a movie, kind of a cult favorite movie that I had seen many, many moons ago. And while the show itself doesn't really have any relation to the movie, I think in terms of some of the tone and feel of the presentation style, it takes a few cues from the movie. What am I talking about? The Hunger, the complete first season. Now in terms of format, this is a pretty straightforward horror anthology series. You have the host character for every episode, and then each one is a new story, sort of following a different theme and whatnot. I haven't actually sat down and watched very much of this. I just watched a little bit of the first episode, and I like what I've seen so far. It only ran for 2 seasons, and I got both of them. Yeah, so these were both in the Summer Blowout Sale, both bargain releases from Alliance. So normally these go for about 20 bucks a piece. But they were on sale for 10 bucks a piece. So, you know, 2 for the price of 1 basically. So to give you some idea of the classiness of this show, let me give you a few of the names behind it here. It's hosted by Terrence Stamp. Yes, General Zod himself. Very cool. And it's executive produced by Tony and Ridley Scott. Yes, the Ridley Scott. And check out some of the guest stars. You have Daniel Craig, Karen Black, Jason Fleming, Colin Ferguson, Lena Headey, Margot Kidder, Timothy Spall, and Balthazar Getty. So that's pretty cool indeed. And in terms of bonus features, there's only a single featurette called The Hunger Inside. Now I should mention the original movie that this takes its inspiration from was essentially a sort of new wave vampire story starring Susan Sarandon and David Bowie. And yeah, the show really has no relation to it whatsoever other than the title and some of the you know, visual cues here and there in the hosting segments. But yeah, a nice addition to the horror anthology collection. And then the second season, we get another tie to the movie because it's hosted by David Bowie. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. So this one, check out some of the guest stars. We have David Bowie, I guess, is actually in one of the stories. Giovanni Ribisi, Eric Roberts, Anthony Michael Hall, Jennifer Beals, Lori Petty, Brad Dourif, and Kathy Moriarty. Very cool. And then you have a bonus of Mr. Skin's top 10 scenes from The Hunger, seasons 1 and 2. And this is all they did. They just did the 2 seasons, and this is all of them, so pretty cool. Yeah, so The Hunger. One issue, of course, I have with them is, well, this is very nice. They have the episodes listed there. Is there these clip cases that you may recall having seen on some other releases. I know the first release of Back to the Future used the clip cases, so that was kind of annoying. And there we have, that's Mr. Skins. Yeah, Mr. Skins there. It looks like something out of Fallout. And here again. And the inside we have the episode listing. And again, beautiful, wonderful clip trays. Yeah, it's not so bad when there's only 2 discs stacked on top of each other, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So let's move on from horror to science fiction. This was a series that actually started as a 4-part miniseries, which I used to have on DVD. I actually had the original releases of it, but I'd never seen the regular series which followed. There was 3 regular seasons which followed the miniseries. And I always liked the miniseries a lot and always wanted to check out the regular series, but the DVDs that were released a few years ago were always prohibitively expensive, it seemed. Everybody was selling them for an arm and a leg. So, enter Alliance, and they re-released it in a nice, affordable, bare-bones collection of all 4 seasons, individually, not as a box set. So, already having seen Season 1 a million times, I picked up Season 2 of Lex. Yeah, very cool. I always really liked this show. It was very, very different kind of sci-fi show. A lot of sex and violence and just really twisted, bizarre humor. But yeah, so I can finally see what happened after the miniseries. I've watched the first couple episodes on here, and it's definitely taking some interesting twists and turns already. So again, this was only $10. Normally goes for about $20. I have seen this on sale for $15 before. All the seasons, actually. And there we go again. And then if we open this up, oh! 3 discs in the clip trays. Now the problem with this is they're in the same amount of space as the 2-disc clip trays, but with a 3rd disc jammed in between. And the problem with that is the discs are always touching each other, so you really need to be careful with these. It's I hate the clip trays, but I guess it's a cost-cutting measure, and it's thanks to the cheap-ass packaging that we're able to get these as affordably as we do. So, Lex, Season 2. I checked if they had Seasons 3 and 4, but alas, they did not. They did have Season 1, but having seen it so many times before, I didn't bother picking it up. I will get it eventually, just for completeness' sake, but it'll probably be the last one I pick up because I'm so familiar with it. Plus, my thinking at the time was, well, I can spend $10 on the season that I've seen a million times, or I can take that $10 and get something else that I haven't seen. One of those things was this. Season 2 of Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles on Blu-ray. Now, this is interesting. This was actually priced at $25. Normally retails for about $75. I really have not seen it for less than $75 most places. And I just could not bring myself to spend $75 on a season set of something, even in high definition. So I waited for it to go on sale. So it was on sale for $25, but it actually rang in at $15. So it had actually been mislabeled. Yeah, so $15. I got the 2nd season of Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles on Blu-ray. Now, I have had the 1st season for quite a while. Annetta actually got this for me as a Christmas present, I believe, a few years ago. So this is it, the complete series. Another 2-season wonder. So let's take a quick peek inside here. So we got the nice slipcase, which is something I don't think you always see. I have seen it go without the slipcase on occasion, so it was nice to get that. Mainly because it actually has information on the back, whereas the regular case does not. So if we open her up here, we actually do have a booklet. Yay! Yay for booklets! And we'll take a look at that in just a moment here. And then it's just your typical keep case. Got 5 discs, and the discs are falling out. That's lovely. It's times like this I'm glad that Blu-rays are so scratch-proof. So, yeah. So anyway, you got 5 discs, and each disc profile is one of the main characters, which is quite nice. So then we just have your typical Blu-ray notice, basically saying make sure your firmware is up to date. And then we have the booklet, which is quite nice. It has all kinds of pictures and summaries of what's on all the discs, and it's very pretty. See, like, was this so hard to include a booklet? I mean, really, come on. More sets need to do this. And then on the back we have a wonderful, sexy picture of Summer Blowout with some Terminator damage. Very cool. Yeah, some of my friends didn't really care for this show. I really liked it, actually. I have not watched the 2nd season yet, but I really enjoyed the 1st season. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking out the epic conclusion to the series, which apparently isn't epically concluded. It's kind of left hanging, but such is the way with shows that are canceled before their time. You may recognize Lena Headey if you've been watching Game of Thrones, because she plays the evil queen of the Lannisters in Game of Thrones. Quite a different character for her. I remember, because I was watching Game of Thrones, and I was just like, she looks really familiar. Where have I seen her before? And then I realized, oh my god, she was Sarah Connor. Like, completely different characters. So, fantastic actress, and I'm glad to see her getting more attention, for sure. And then finally, last but not least, this particular actor recently passed away. It was very sad. I was actually looking at these season sets the day the Summer Blowout Sale started, and considered getting them at the time, but didn't. Actually put them back on the shelf. And then the lead actor passed away the next day. It was kind of spooky, actually. So then the day after that, I went back and said, yeah, I think I'm going to get them, because I mean, I've been wanting to get these sets for a long time anyway, and it just seemed like, you know, a nice little way to pay tribute to an actor who I've always enjoyed. I'm of course talking about the complete first season of Columbo, starring Peter Falk. This is a great show, really classic. The thing I like about Columbo is it kind of takes a novel twist on the old whodunit genre, because you actually see whodunit in the very first scene of every episode. They show you how the killer killed whoever they killed, how they tried to cover their tracks, and then the entertainment comes from Columbo coming in and finding out how they screwed it up, and figuring out, you know, what they missed, and figuring out who the killer is. So it's interesting because we know who the killer is. That's not where the entertainment is. The entertainment is seeing how Columbo figures it out. So you see how meticulous the killers are in covering their tracks, but they always miss something. They always screw something up. And Columbo, being the sharp-witted guy that he is, picks up on that and runs with it. And it's just a blast. I mean, just his portrayal of the character alone is a reason to watch the show. I mean, he's just so entertaining to watch. So this is the complete first season, again on sale for $10, and I see currently Walmart has a couple of the other seasons. They've got the what is it, the 5th season, I think, for $15, so I might grab that. And they've got 2 of the movie collections. One is going for $15, one's I think for $20 or $25. So this is a nice 5-disc collection. The thing about Columbo was it was not just regular length episodes. It was actually originally done as sort of an NBC Movie of the Week thing where they would feature different detectives. And then Columbo proved to be so popular that they just spun Columbo off into his own series. And but the thing is, they still maintained that movie length format. So it's a series of movies. And the original Columbo series, they actually did 45 movies over the course of 7 seasons, and then it was kind of on a break for about 10 years, and then they brought it back as a series of once-in-a-while TV movies, which is pretty cool. And then I also picked up the 2nd season. Alas, this is all they had, was the first 2 seasons, but great stuff. Really been enjoying watching these a lot. My mom was always a big Columbo fan, so she was overjoyed to hear that I picked these up and we could talk about Columbo. So this is season 2. And this one we don't have actual picture art, we just have, you know, sort of detective-y type stuff, like a chalk outline, handcuffs, and stuff like that. That's pretty nice. One thing I thought was kind of odd is a lot of the pictures of Columbo himself on the package are from the entire spectrum of the series. They're not just from the years covered in the individual sets. So you see pictures of him at all different ages all over the packaging, which is kind of odd, but whatever. He actually aged quite gracefully. I mean, if you look at his later ones compared to his earlier ones, he really doesn't look a lot different. You know, a little older, obviously, but he actually aged quite gracefully. So sadly, Peter Falk is no longer with us. So there will be no more Columbo. The last Columbo movie was actually done in 2003. So yeah, hopefully they'll finish releasing the rest of them at some point. There's still a few of the post-movie series movies left to be released, so hopefully we'll see those before too long. So, to sum up, we got the complete series of The Hunger for $10 a piece per season. Very nice. We got the 2nd season of Lex for $10. The 2nd season of Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles on Blu-ray for $15. And the first 2 seasons of Columbo for $10 a piece. Yeah, my interests are kind of strange in that way. It's like I like cartoons, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and cop shows and detective shows. I don't know what the relation is. There probably isn't a relation, but for some reason I just love a good cop drama or a private eye story. Go figure. I don't know. And Columbo is definitely one of the best. It's a lot of fun. Alrighty, well that's it from me to you for now, so I think next time we'll probably be carrying on with the Transformers review. I'm going to be staggering things a little bit, so the plan currently is to have the midnight videos be something random like this, and the noon videos be the next part of the Transformers until it's done. So that's kind of the plan for the next little while. We'll see how that goes. But one thing you can expect is 2 videos a day from now until whenever. Yep. Rather than doing what I tried to do before, where I just kind of set aside a day for a different topic, I decided let's not do that, but let's have at least 2 videos a day. So every day at noon and midnight, you'll see new videos. So 12 hours apart. So every 12 hours, you'll see a new video. Until I get burned out. So enjoy until I stop doing it, which hopefully will be never, but enjoy it while it lasts. Alrighty, that's it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.